Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tyra Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. Greetings to all of you Patreon patrons. Thank you so much for investing first and foremost in yourself, but also by believing enough in what I do to subscribe to what I offer in Patreon. And so this year, I am doing a New Year's reading for you all, the energy governing 2019. All of y'all know me personally. So I have to tell y'all, I'm like so excited because look at this. I have a PowerPoint for you all. So y'all have inspired me so much to up my game and actually to do everything that I've been wanting to do regarding my virtual sacred temple space that I like to share in my cipher. So as you can see, I have given sort of an overview of this 2019 calendar year. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is the year of expansion. Ancestors Oya, who is the goddess of transformation and responsibility. So that was just me trying to narrow the focus down a little bit because some of the themes are a little bit, they're recurring themes. Through the oracles that I have used, and I will show you that. I do want to say that all of the readings that I will do this year will be what you use to move yourself forward with your own goals, which I hope that everybody is working on having those goals. This is actually a year to have goals, to set goals for, long-term goals. Especially because of that Jupiter and Sagittarius, but to also help with moving you further along in the wisdom that has been set forth for this year in this reading that I'm about to do. And so again, one of the reasons why I adore divination and sharing, my ability to be able to share it with other people is because it's a roadmap. That's what this reading is all about, is to provide a roadmap for the year. This year of expansion is about having the big picture in mind. And so if we have the big picture in mind, then what happens if we know the goal is to get to New York City and I'm in Tennessee, then the roadmap should be taking me to, or everything I do should be taking me to New York. If the goal is New York City and I find, how sometimes we're taking trips and it's like, oh, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to stop there. But then I start figuring out I'm headed towards Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas. If I'm not paying attention, next thing I know, I'm in California, when actually I meant to go to New York. And so that's what divination is all about. I don't really like doing divination. It's fun. I adore it. It's like my heart. But it's not entertainment for me. It's like when the oracle says this is what's going on, when astrology says this is what's going on or that's what's going on, I'm listening to it because I want to stay on the straight and narrow. Do you want to stay on the straight and narrow? Do you like being sidetracked? Do you like being distracted? You were supposed to be there on Tuesday and it's Wednesday. We just really and truly have to ask ourselves, like, how do we really want to live? Do we want to live on the straight and narrow? Or do we want to keep taking, side roads and roads that's not even taking us in the direction that we want to go? So that's what divination is all about. So we have the big picture with this New Year reading. I will do monthly readings for you to use those as road maps to get to to stay on the straight and narrow for the month, because even having an overview for the month is important. One of the energies that's speaking this year is Capricorn, Saturn energy. This is the energy of, they call Saturn Father Time, excuse me. They call Saturn Father Time. Hold 1 second. So they call Saturn Father Time. And, having an understanding of what is the overview for the month for you. Using calendars and understanding the cycles. So very important. So that's what the monthly reading is about. And then the weekly readings are even more, that they narrow the focus of the roadmap even more. So it's sort of like when we use the New Year's reading, it's the big map that we would look of, say, of the United States or whatever country you live in. And then the monthly would be like if you're using the GPS and you can kind of see the overview of the trip that you're making. And then the weekly readings are, you see the street, you're seeing like the actual buildings that are along the street, you're seeing street signs, you're seeing lights and all that kind of good stuff. So traffic lights. So, each reading is designed to help give you a certain level of view. Again, year of expansion, Tahuti, all this kind of good stuff. This is an expansive way, a progressive way of looking at what we're doing. So I just want to help you all understand exactly why I do all of what I do. And so let's go on ahead and get started with this next slide. So an overview is, let's see if I can move this, is of the 2019 reading, Mametu Neter is Tahuti positive, Sheps positive. So that's great. Positive means the energy is open, the way is, the way is, it could be, there could be ease. We have blessings. That's Ire right here. Ire. Blessings, ease of way, but it's all contingent on us following the wisdom of the oracle. Following the wisdom of your higher self, because that's what I see the oracle as. It's not something that's without, it's something that's within. When I do readings, it's specific for the people who are going to watch this video. So as I get the reading, it's reading your energy. As I speak, I'm being told to say what we need to hear specifically, and so the way will be eased if we follow the wisdom of the oracle. Tahuti is all about wisdom. Sheps, it should say Sheps, I'm sorry, is the ancestors. And then the astrology, I will talk lots of astrology in the monthly and the weekly readings, but I just want to overview the astrology that are for the longer acting planets. They'll be acting all year in one sign. Ooh, I don't know how I did that. Jupiter in Sagittarius and Saturn in Capricorn. So this is the same energy as Tahuti. That's why I said the oracles are overlapping. This is the same energy as Tahuti. It's expansion. It's about wisdom. And then Saturn is about, it's like get real energy. It's the energy of the elder, old person, Father Time, and it's about karma, facing your fears. So then the Odu from the oracle out of our Ifa tradition out of Nigeria, the Odu is Obara in Ire. So Obara is the name of one Odu. These are wisdom texts, wisdom teachings, wisdom matrices, wisdom energies, okay? Obara in Ire, which is blessings in ED or OD. There's two different ways to say this, ED or OD, which is the energy of the mother, nurturance, or Yemonja. And Obara spoke twice. So Obara is the same energy as Haru. It's the same energy as Haru. And then The lunar wisdom, I'm focusing on that because the moon and what it does, it really dictates quite a bit. So we're having a new moon in Capricorn on June 5th of 2019. One of the things I'm learning from those who use like the sidereal charts. So I use tropical charts. It's just how you look at the astrological wheel. Those who and it's based on the sun, and it's a local thing. It's more about what's going on here on the earth. The other one is called sidereal. It looks like sidereal, and it's about what's actually going on in the actual constellations in the sky. And especially the Babylonian astrology, at least this is what I'm hearing from one, they talk about when that moon first appears, what does it look like? What is it close to? All that kind of good stuff. So where the moon is and how the moon starts out at the beginning of the year, it dictates quite a bit. And quite a few of you who work with me are women. So this lunar essence that we are as feminine beings, it really matters. It matters a lot for us. So keeping up with the moon is very important. So this new moon in Capricorn is setting the stage for another year of transformation. But it's more of like really and truly, you've got to go on ahead and face what's going on. You've got to face your fears. You've got to face your karma. I should say, have to face our fears. We have to face our karma. And we have to put in the long, hard work that is required to heal ourselves and to move forward in whatever it is that we want to do in our lives. And I do encourage y'all to take notes. I put general notes on here, but other things may come to me. So you may want to take notes. So this is Tahuti positive, Sheps positive. This is the energy from the Metu Neter Oracle. Metu Neter is from Egypt or Kemet. So this is a year where we need to operate according to wisdom. It is important for us to listen to the experts. It could be regarding career. It could be regarding health, home, family, relationships. It is a time to get readings, actually. And I encourage you all, do your own readings. You know, I am all about, I will divine for you. This is my gift. And, you know, I love the oracles. But if you can get a deck and do daily readings for yourself, if any of y'all want to go through SAI, I will talk to you all about that because I've mentioned it to all of you. One of you has already gone through it. But in SAI, that's something that is really important. Me helping people learn how to read their own energy. But when it comes to things such as health, for instance, if you're having a health issue, you really should listen to the health experts. Even if you choose to go a more natural path, you want to be listening to the ones that have tried and true experience. And, you know, you have to trust your own inner wisdom too. Don't get me wrong. But when Tahuti speaks, Tahuti is saying really and truly listen to the wisdom of the experts and the sages. You wanting to find that guru. So an example for me is, you know, when I have been experiencing my health challenges over these last few years, I did go to my nurse practitioner. I really am one who believes in, you know, the Western medicine model only a little bit. But I was like, something's wrong with me. I know for a fact something is wrong with me. I went to my chiropractor, which is a more natural route as I see it. And that at that point, it was not working. And so I found another chiropractor who is online. And I didn't even trust what the man was saying because he was asking me to do things that I didn't want to do. But I started saying, okay, I'm good. This man is a doctor. I'm going to try what he's given me. And although I didn't work with him personally, I just sort of studied what he's teaching day in and day out. This is what this man is teaching. And I have found all of it to work. I've been able to turn my life around. And this is me as somebody who is a so-called fitness expert. I am group fitness certified. I'm a certified health coach. I've taken so much. All these versions. I had to consult an expert. You know, I'll go to the doctor if I think something is bad wrong. I just do. I believe in going to the experts when I need to. Maybe it's regarding some other area in life, but this is a year to actually listen to the people who know what they're talking about. And then what ends up happening is also we are going to find ourselves more expansive, moving into a higher level of wisdom and understanding in our own lives. This is another reason why it's so important to do a daily reading for yourself. I need to make sure I do a pendulum course for you all. So Tahuti positive, I'm just going to go, well, Tahuti positive is same energy as Jupiter. So I just want to say, Jupiter is calling us all to expand. Tahuti is calling us all to expand and to operate according to the wisdom, and also to understand that our lives must be guided by wisdom. This is actually the highest teaching of this year. Your life must be guided by wisdom. The wisdom will help you get through the rough times. The wisdom will help you navigate when you're facing your karma, when you're facing your fears. The wisdom is also universal law. And when we begin to understand universal law and operate according to it, then we can begin to intentionally, choose to operate according to the laws and get real results. The laws work whether we use them intentionally or not. If we use them intentionally, then we get real results. So I encourage you to study the laws of the universe, which I will go over some of those. But one that is well talked about that I think really helps us to begin to shift the energy that we carry is the law of attraction. What we think about, feel about, think about, we bring about. If you haven't watched the movie The Secret or What the Bleep Do We Know, those would be really good things to do. Forgiveness is also something that will come easily this year if we allow it. And, all wrapped up with this karma piece and these fears that have been set in us. Forgiveness, as we begin to expand ourselves and we can see the big picture, then, and we're expanding even our understanding of our own selves. If we're operating from an expanded understanding of ourselves, one of the things that I've offered this year is know thyself. When you know the truth of who and what you are beyond this limited, understanding, this limited identity of ourselves, then you can easily forgive because you see the big picture of the situation that happened to you in your life. So forgiveness is key this year. Working with the ancestors is also another thing. I talk about African Americans in this country. We have set what has been set for because of us being here from the Ifa perspective as our Orisha, which is like the guardian forces of nature for us, is the ancestors. This is a year for us to study our ancestors, to connect with our ancestors, to pour libations, and I made a video on that, to feed our ancestors, to talk to our ancestors, and as we send them love and light, we elevate them. But it doesn't matter if you are, African American or not. This is a year to work with the ancestors and to study the ancestral way. And I will give this to you all. This is what I shared at the women's retreat. We must study female warriors. This is a time for us to become more of the female warrior. We are not being masculine warriors. We are female warriors. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and he said that, not even knowing that I had said, y'all, we need to study female warriors, that there was some story he heard about women in India were not allowed to go into a temple, and they formed a 400-mile long chain of themselves. And they got into those temples. They were told they could not come into the temples because sometimes the women are on their cycles. That messes something up. I don't know. And when he said that, I was like, that's the female warrior way. That's the female warrior way, y'all. So we need to study our ancestors. We need to study our ancestral legacy. That will also help us with some of this, these issues regarding our fears, as well as, this karma. We have to study and honor our ancestors. The more we connect with them in an intentional way, they will provide the medicine. They will provide the rituals that we need to bring about healing and transformation in our lives. Next is, where is my thing? Jupiter in Sagittarius. So this is a fun energy. So thank goodness for Jupiter in Sagittarius. Like Jupiter in Scorpio, to me, that thing was mind-blowing. It was just wow. So Jupiter in Sagittarius is about expansion. It's about abundance. And Obara is about abundance. So this is a year for us to open ourselves more to abundance. If you feel like you're lacking in any way, and the more I work with women, the more I realize how much work is needed for us to do in the area of relationships. I was telling one of my sons that men do not understand how much we love them. I know with the feminist way and women, working to get our rights, and rightly so. And just so much about women empowerment, that does not change how much women love men. And it's crazy how much men fall for women. I mean, like really and truly, we should all just squash all this mess and we just need to do this love thing. And I know not everybody who watches this is necessarily in a heterosexual relationship. I think that it doesn't all the time matter because everybody's struggling with relationship stuff, But my point is, this is showing me how much work is needed to be done when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to love relationships. That we really and truly need to begin to unpack what is this thing that gets us all tripped up with relationships. Because I'm finding that a lot of the women I talk to, if they're single, there could be issues with relationships. But even the ones that are married, it's always there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We all are looking to have a greater experience in relationships. And what I encourage everyone to do, and this is largely based on my own experience, is to develop relationship with self. I said in a video that I made the other day that the remedy for anything is engage your spiritual practices. It seems like we need to be doing more in whatever way we do this thing to get what we're wanting in this relationship area. But I find for me, in my 25-year-long, this is really 28-year-long, well, okay, my husband's like, it ain't that long yet. We ain't made it to 25 years. In my 24/27-year relationship with my husband, that the greatest, that I find more abundance, the more I work on myself. That, there is really nothing my husband can do to make me happy. He could try every freaking thing in the world. We've been in this phase where he's like, why are you not happy? I'm trying to make you happy. It was me getting a deep peace about myself. And the more I have a deep peace about myself, and all of this came through spiritual work, it gives me this deep appreciation for my relationship, for my husband, for the good and for the bad, It allows me to, know when it's his stuff and when it's my stuff. It just, the spiritual practice is what has done it for me, So I feel like when it comes to relationships, that I am encouraging all of you who are struggling in your relationships. Now, the other thing is familial relationships, like relationships with mama, with daddy, even just siblings, other family members, because I sometimes find myself sort of like really, I don't know, my mother passed and I just need one of my aunts, so I'm constantly like trying to figure out how can I connect with one of my aunts, even though I fall off or whatever. This relationship thing is big. It's not even just love relationships. But what I do is I continue to work my spiritual practices and realize that the void actually is because I don't have a full understanding of the truth of this reality. True contentment, true wholeness comes from connection to the great divine within you. There's no relationship, there's no human being, nobody. It's just you and the great divine, and expanding yourself to understand the truth of who and what you are. And that will, once you have this set, it helps you to navigate the relationships in your life. It just does. So, but abundance of all kinds of things, whatever you feel like you need, you're being called to expand. So if you feel like I don't want to change, ain't time for that, boo. It's not time for that. It's time for you to change. It's time for you to grow. Okay? It's time for you to step outside your bubble, do something new, change some things up. It's time. It's also time to look at your belief system, and this goes to the Obara reading also. Look at your belief system and see where does it need to expand. How do you need to expand yourself within that belief system? So, abundance, growth. Now, some of y'all, depending on what your chart is, might want to just be careful. Because when Jupiter is in your first house of Sagittarius, you could gain weight. So I will say Jupiter was in my first house this last year and I lost weight. But that's because I was listening to my gurus about weight and health and, just doing a better job of establishing a healthy lifestyle. So we do have to sort of be careful when this energy speaks. Some of us may just grow and expand on all levels. No judgment. Foreign travel and just really connecting with other cultures. That's something that is important. Somebody watching this needs to connect a little more deeply with their own culture. You know who you are. But, for those of us who have a cultural legacy that we don't know a lot about, that still counts for culture. Maybe you need to know other people's cultures, and that helps us to connect to or it gives us more humanity. Jupiter is very humane, and it helps us to have more humanity, more compassion. This is a year to have more compassion, more self-compassion. Can you please have some compassion for yourself? Okay? No matter what mistakes we make, we got to be our best cheerleaders. We got to be our best coach. But it allows us to have more compassion because we begin to see basically we all want the same thing. We love our families. We want relationships. We want to have the good life, however that looks for us. This is human life, So, yeah, culture, belief system. You need to perhaps overhaul your belief system. Where are you limited? And again, this is why I love studying the laws of the universe, because when you're looking at your belief system and you're stacking it up against truth, because this year is about truth, you're like, is this really, is my belief system limiting me? Why do I believe what I believe? Why do I wear what I wear and do what I do, say what I say? So it's time to really look at your belief system, maybe adopt something, something from another culture. I've noticed here lately, I've been wanting to do a little bit more studies with people who know about Buddhism as well as the Hindu or the yogic tradition. I just want to know more. I'm stepping outside a little bit of what I typically am doing, even though, I'm always Afro. And you want to open yourself up to your inner guru, your inner sage. You want to open yourself up to a teacher, a guru, a sage. I have to say, it really touches me when people are like, oh, that's you. I'm like, me? Okay. So I'm definitely, that for some of y'all at least, because y'all have, entrusted you've invested in the spiritual coaching as well as, you engage with me. You respect what I bring, channel for your life or whatever. Could be other gurus, sages, teachers that you find this year. And when we sit at the foot of the sage, we should listen. We should not talk. We should listen. I'm not saying y'all shouldn't talk to me, but this is what Tahuti teaches. When you sit at the foot of the sage, you sit and you listen. You take notes. You're wanting the wisdom to soak into you. And you're wanting to be guided by the omniscience of the universe. Planning is important for us to intuit the plan, but also to understand that, we really want to follow the wisdom as we see it. Okay. So we want to follow the wisdom, follow the omniscience. The omniscience is to a certain degree subtle, but it's so powerful when you follow it. So that's something else to think about. Saturn in Capricorn. This is the reality check planet. So it's time for us to get a reality check on our lives, on ourselves, in all the areas, career, business, education. Jupiter is also about higher education and learning new things. So what is it that we really need to learn, and what have we not learned that we should learn, health-wise, relationships, everything. Reality check. This is a time, and this started actually at the end of 2017, and it will go through, I think, the top of 2020. So Saturn is calling us to have a reality check to create more structure in our lives. This is like be responsible. Be responsible in the areas that you're supposed to be responsible in. Stop just floating here and there. Look at how I've even changed in how I'm talking to you. Stop doing this and do this. That's Saturn and Capricorn energy. It's good energy because Saturn rules Capricorn. Just like Jupiter rules Sagittarius. It's like perfect energy, but they relate to other planets. So sometimes we might have little challenges. But this is a good placement for Saturn. And I love Saturn and Capricorn energy because this is boss energy. Be the boss of your life. And it helps us to move ourselves in the direction of our goals. Saturn gets stuff done. It's about working hard and having that ability to stick and stay day in, day out. Capricorn is like, we will not quit. We will stay into this thing until the end, but only stick and stay for the things that you should. Don't be sticking and staying with what you don't need. You see it's bringing you down. Why are you sticking and staying with that? No. You're sticking and staying with your goals for your life. When you say you're going to put a seal on something, this is ED. Put a seal on it. It's over. Seal that thing off. It's ended. It's over. Seal it off. Don't go back. Capricorn is like, we ain't going back. We won't look back. We will never go back to that. And Capricorn is like, move forward. That's it. All right. But the other thing about Saturn and Capricorn is we deal with our karma. It could be other lifetimes. It could be karma from this lifetime. We deal with our karma. And so it's like really looking, like for me, I'm looking at the karma of my spending habits. So yeah, we deal with our karma. And then we're like, reality check, it's all my fault. See, Saturn is like, it's your fault. It's all your fault. Take responsibility. That's another thing Obara is about. Take responsibility for your life, because when you take responsibility, then you're operating from your power. Oh Lord, how did I leave that off? This is a year to operate from your power, your personal power. Okay? To face your fears. And remember that when you face your fears, you will find your power. When you face your fears, you will find your power, and you will find that more than likely it was the Wiz, just a man behind a big machine who's actually not a big bad monster like we thought, you know? So face your fears. Face your fears, you will find your power. And it's about transformation. So this is where I get the energy of Oya, especially with this moon in this new moon starting us out in Capricorn, and with an eclipse. Lord have mercy. So Oya is about transformation. So this year we continue the transformation, but you've got to be slow and deliberate. It's about a reality check. It may not be coming through and wrecking you, though. This eclipse in Capricorn, it's about fated events. So we may experience, especially if you have a lot of Capricorn energy, sun, moon, ascendant, even planets in Capricorn, this can come through and create a massive change. There's another one, and I'll address this one in one of the in the monthly video. Eclipse in 2 weeks after this one in Leo and Aquarius. Lord, Leo and Aquarius. Y'all have had a lot going on for the last 2 years. But just in general, y'all, we need to go ahead and change, or else be changed. This is more about, like, it's going to be staring you in the face. You need to change this. You need to get some transformation in this regard. So anytime something is going on in Capricorn, it's 180 degrees across from Cancer. So Cancerians, you may feel this eclipse quite a bit. It's in a different country. So if you're in the United States, I don't really remember where it is. It seems like it's maybe some Asian countries. Maybe some European, a couple of European. It's not visible here, so won't have the greatest effect on a lot of us. But I believe in the moon. We're lunar beings, the majority of a lot of us who are watching this video. So yeah, be ready for transformation, fate, facing your fears, and look at where you need more structure. Make a commitment. This is also a good moon to say, okay, I'm making a commitment. The changes I need to make, I'm making. Where you do not turn back from them. I like using the story from the Bible, Lot. God said, take your family, don't even look back. What did Lot's wife do? We call her Lottie. Lottie's butt looked back. She turned into a pillar of salt. Y'all, come on. We're not going to be Lottie. All right? We're going to make the commitment. We're moving forward, guided by wisdom. And the Odu is Obara, N-E-Ray, N-E-D, Obara. So this is just how we have to pull it. I'll go over a video of how do we do divination. And just know this means the energy of Obara, which is about managing your life. It's about a lot of what I've talked about, your belief system, is really speaking this year. This is the energy of Haru Shango. This is the king. And it's a fiery energy. So I would say work with the energy of fire breathing, because Oya is the energy of the wind. This is the goddess of the wind element, the air element. So a way to combine this is, because Jupiter is fire, also fire breathing, especially when you need to get yourself motivated to do what you need to do. If you're trying to get yourself cooled down, then you don't need to do fire breathing. Do slow, deep breathing. Alternate nostril breathing would probably be good for that too. And ED is this energy of Aset, Yemonja, the mother energy working with water. So abundance is coming. Obara is like the Odu for me. Like I get Obara all the time. It's weird because it's you cast the shells, and I mean I can't just set them down. You know that 6 shells show up. I'm like, wow, this is Obara. So I know for a fact when Obara speaks, abundance is coming. If you feel like you're lacking, it's coming, but you've got to continue to do what you're doing. You got to stop operating according to your limited ego and your emotions, and you have to live life by choice. You also have to understand that, you're going to have discipline and operate from the higher law of the universe, which is about I see what I want in consciousness first, and then I will follow the omniscience of the universe to see what steps I'm to take to make it unfold. This is the time to transform your ego. If you think that you're this, then you've really got to transform that ego. You want your ego to not lead you. You want the spiritual aspect of yourself to be the leader of your life. So I encourage you to really spiritualize your ego. That's another way of saying it. And I'll go into more details. I'm going to create some videos where I talk a little bit more in depth because I don't want this video to be too long. Take care of yourself, self-care, self-nurturance, self-love, self-compassion, self-care, self-nurturance, self-love, self-compassion. Do you love yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? Do you have compassion for yourself? Come on, y'all. We've got to do more, okay? That's what we're being called to do with this ED. And I've already talked about bring an end to what needs ending and seal it off. We're not Lottie, all right? End what needs to end. And it could be a behavior. It could be a relationship. It could be a thought, a repetitive thought that's problematic for you. For me, this looks like, just on a practical sense, ED for me was me weighing in at 190 plus one year, and I brought it into sugar. I put that seal on it. I ain't gone back yet. I'm even one of those people that watches people eat a lot of sugar like, oh my God. Even though if I eat sugar, I'll fall for it, so I have to stay away from sugar. I'm not even beyond it. But it could be anything is what I'm saying. Practical application, goddess of the year is Oya. She's the primary. Yemonja is secondary, which is just saying that Oya's energy is predominant, but so is Yemonja with the self-care. Consult the wise ones and the experts. Another thing you can do is ask if what you are doing is wise. Is this really a wise decision? If it's not, if you're not sure, don't do it. Are you being guided by wisdom? And sometimes we're taking a risk, but you just feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. That's one thing, where you trust in your gut. But from day to day, is this really wise? I'll just keep using this little sugar example. I would ask myself, I know I want to lose weight. Is this really wise for me to eat this candy bar? No, it's not. And then I would make the choice as to whether or not I was going to do it or not. At least make the conscious choice. If you're going to do something that you know is detrimental to you, at least do it consciously. Don't lie to yourself. This is a year of truth. Don't lie to yourself. Just be truthful and honest. Be open to expansion. Create structure where it is needed. Change or be changed. Transformation can be a conscious choice. Change or be changed. Transformation can be a conscious choice where you need to change. Just go ahead and change it. I could have just made a conscious choice to stop eating so much sugar, but I needed to see that 190 pounds on that scale, 190 plus pounds on that scale to make me say, okay, that was be changed. My exhaustion and my depression and everything was going wrong in my body. Everything was going wrong. So That was me. I was changed. But I did change myself because I could have ended up with diabetes. I swear for Jesus, I think I was going to get diabetes. Do breath work and yoga. This is key with working with this energy of Oya. It does not have to be a lot. Sit down, do some breath work throughout the day, 5-10 minutes. Do some yoga, 20 minutes of yoga a day will do you real good. I'm going to make sure I post my friends, because all of y'all in Middle Tennessee who's looking at this, my friends' yoga workshop. It's a series of 5 or 6 classes over this next month. And it's all about dealing with the chakras, the energy chakras. Read wisdom text. This is so good. It gives your mind something to chew on. You have that wisdom to work with. So read wisdom text. I'm reading the Metta Netter. I'm listening to books on Audible. You know, it's from the sages. Listen to wisdom text. It could be ancient. It could be something recent. Work with your ancestors. I'll go over this a little bit more because this is something that needs a little bit of work. But at the very least, talk to your ancestors. Set up that altar. Pull libations. Feed your ancestors. But I'll go into it. Establish self-care routines if you don't have them and stick to them. Detoxification is something that would greatly benefit you. This also helps with the forgiveness piece. The liver is often greatly affected when we don't forgive. So you're wanting to do detoxes. Do cardio 20 to 30 minutes, 5 to 7 times a week. You want to follow and set a schedule, or set and follow a schedule. I have that in the wrong order. Where do you need structure in your life? Establish it. And I'm going to talk more on knowing yourself, be on a path to self-discovery, cleanse and purify whatever's not there, that shouldn't be there, cleanse and purify it, and live in alignment with truth. So I've given myself so many things to talk to you about as we go through the year. I hope that this reading is helpful to you. I'm looking forward to having an amazing 2019 and us just growing and succeeding and evolving and transforming and expanding together. So thank you all again. Please let me know if you have any questions. I truly appreciate you all. Peace, love, and happy 2019.